Ethiopian Jews, the Beta Israel, began their return home in 2 massive airlifts. Operation Moses in 1985, followed by Operation Solomon 6 years later. 130,000 Ethiopian Jews live in Israel today, but thousands remain trapped in Africa. Many left their homes and villages in the mountains of Gondar, choosing an uncertain status in refugee camps in the hope of immigrating to Israel. Some have waited in these camps for over 10 years, in abject poverty, without work, lacking all basics for survival, no longer accepted by Ethiopian society, and yet prevented from immigrating to Zion.
In Zechariah 10:9, the Lord spoke, "Though I scattered them among the peoples, yet in distant lands they will remember me. They and their children will survive, and they will return." In northern Ethiopia, in the villages outside Gondar, live God's scattered people, the Beta Israel. According to statistics, over 96% of the Beta Israel live below the international poverty line of $1 per day. With Ethiopia having one of the largest orphan populations in the world, the Beta Israel orphans struggle to survive, living without food, without clean water, without shoes, malnourished, suffering, dying, and without hope. The Lord heard the cries of His people, and, as promised in Isaiah 41:17, to answer them and not forsake them, He chose to work through Messianic Rabbi Kokeb Gedamu of House of Israel International Ministries. Here, in a Beta Israel village in France, we saw firsthand the severe malnutrition, disease, thirst, and poverty of the orphans. Each of the children came forward, some with their siblings, to be registered and have their ages and shoe size recorded. Most were without shoes and in tattered rags. Some had only a torn shirt to cover their little bodies. 2 days later, we returned with warm-up suits, sneakers, bread, and water bottles for the children. By the end of the day, other Beta Israel orphans in surrounding areas heard that provisions were being given out and came running to us. Our hearts broke at the sight of children holding children, hungry, thirsty, with arms outstretched, grabbing, pushing, and reaching out, hoping to be the one to receive help. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. On the drive back to the city, our group made a stop to walk down a steep hill to the place where many women and children came from miles and miles away to fill their yellow jugs with polluted, bacteria-laden water. Thirsty and parched, they have no choice but to drink the same water they bathe and wash their clothes in, the same water they and the animals urinate and defecate in. A constant supply of food, clothing, and medical supplies must be provided to keep these children from dying of malnutrition, thirst, and disease. Children and safe-loving foster parents must be identified, and monthly provisions must be given to house, feed, school, and care for these children. While this trip was filled with great sorrow in seeing the squalor and desperation of the Beta Israel orphans, there was also great joy as we looked beyond these circumstances and towards future plans the Lord holds for them.
Shalom Mishpaha, I am so excited to announce that the last trip a month ago, when I was in Ethiopia with my wife and a few people with me, the Lord opened exciting doors for us in front of the government. We had a meeting with the governor. That is the first time he promised to us to give us a land for the Ethiopian Beta Israel who is living in the village. As you know, most of you are supporting the last 10 years by helping the Beta Israel in Ethiopia with different projects like digging well and feeding them and sending the children to foster house and also medical clinic. We can change the community or the villagers that provide them modern cattle system and provide them goat and sheep and even chicken farm. That way we can change the community. The older people, they can participate together, and this way we can change their life. Instead of giving them every month something, we will help them to be a productive citizen and also to feel good about themselves. Because most of them, they were using grind by their hands. Right now, the Lord provide money, and then we bought them modern food grinder for the community. It's costing us over $10,000 for two. We want to extend that also to the other village. That way, these people, they will have more sufficient food, and also they don't have to worry how to grind their food. So I believe I am called from that family like Joseph in order to help them, in order to give them hope and some future. I come to you in the name of Yeshua just to consider and pray and then be part of the ministry as you did before, and continue to help these people, and then we can make them to be valuable citizens, and also they can be a good citizen in future to Israel, and also to be a light for the nation. May God bless you. I really appreciate it and I love you. God bless you. Shalom.